When people make decisions, it's tempting to think that that's a lot of rational thought. That's really not the case. You can't make any decision without emotion. If a candidate cannot really engage emotion in intense ways, then their message does not get through. Emotion is actually something that is entirely subconscious. When you try to interpret it, you're actually already starting to change it. And so what we did is we tapped right into the source. We confirmed that what people say they feel and what they actually feel are not always the same. If you interview a Democrat or a Hillary supporter and you say, how do you feel about what Trump said about this? They would say, well, it scared me. I felt a lot of fear. But we don't see that fear initially. First, we see a spike of joy, which is, I'm entertained. And it's not till later that some people filter that entertainment, consciously think about it, and then start looking at it as a more of a fear response.
Look at those hands. Are they small hands?
Attention is absolutely key. If you can't engage someone's attention, then they can't possibly even think about the messages that you're trying to communicate.
We do business with, we are getting absolutely crushed on trade.
Trump received so much more attention than Hillary. He received the most attention out of any candidate. We see that in the debates, Trump is often getting attention at levels 7.5 out of 10, whereas Hillary struggles to get above 4 out of 10.
You know, let me tell you why.
The next thing that we did was we looked into what are the factors that seem to be influencing attention. And there was a huge emphasis on rhetorical style.
That their short-term profits are not more important than the future of this planet. And that
Bernie Sanders is a perfect example of somebody who speaks with a lot of intonation. So his voice has a sing-song up and down patterns that really do a great job of drawing people in and helping them keep focus. When you compare that to Hillary's intonations, it's a lot flatter.
More infrastructure, as we both have said, it's woefully under-resourced. That will put a lot of people to work.
And that flatter intonation actually makes it harder to follow. And that's one of the reasons why she receives less attention. And so as just a normal viewer, distracted by all of the things in our environment, it's hard to get people's attention. And so those types of styles don't work well. It would be great to think that the candidate who is getting the most positive attention, the most overwhelming support for the things that they believe, would be who attracts us. But more prominent in our data was actually looking at a lot of negative feelings. And so when Trump appears on the screen, somebody who is not a Trump supporter, you see this just drastic dip very quickly. And so it's the dislike for him by those participants that is really influencing them. And one of the best examples was Donald Trump had a commercial that featured his daughter Ivanka, and people loved the contents of that commercial.
When I was a young girl, my father, Donald Trump, always told me that I could do anything that I set my mind to.
She would be talking about her father and all of the things that he's done and her love for him, and there would just be such positive emotions. And the second you hear Donald Trump's voice say, I'm Donald Trump,
candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Emotion falls off a cliff for people who don't support him. So really, it is the dislike, it is the feelings of not liking a candidate that are playing in a major way in this election cycle.
And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small.